discouragement. Okay? 3 Bible tips for discouragement. So, what again? Because discouragement is a part of encouragement. I'm also going to talk about that as well. But I want to make sure that we clearly understand that the Bible recognizes that the believers will have discouragement. And God, through His infinite wisdom, has given us provision for it. We all heard that saying that's in the religious system where God guides, He provides. So when He put this plan into place, He also knew that discouragement would come. He also knew that there would be lows, right, in addition to the highs. And in such, He equipped us through His Word to be able to be ready for it. Now, we could study ahead of time, right? And then when discouragement comes, we already have the scripture in our hearts. Or we could run to God when discouragement comes instead of running from God and find that word, that touch. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I can't tell you how many times that has happened in my life where I have run to God and He has given me a word that has just blessed my heart. So the first one I'm going to talk about is hardships can lead to discouragement and complaining. Hardships can lead to discouragement and complaining. And the first scripture comes out of Numbers 21, 4 and 5. Okay? And this is a beautiful thing because in this teaching it shows how both the Old and the New Testament are utilized to help the body. Because it's all God's inspired word, right? Written by those who were inspired by God to put it down on paper so that those who come after would be able to have the ability to call upon and receive what God spoke to those who wrote it down and be able to draw from it that which God had sent that word for, right? It says that His word shall not return unto Him void. It's going to do what it's supposed to do. So God has blessed us with the words that we need already in place. And it's up to us to put forth the effort in order to make it work in our lives. All right? So Numbers 21, 4 and 5 says, Then they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to go around the land of Edom. And the soul of the people became very discouraged on the way. And the people spoke against God and against Moses. Why have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no food, no water, and our soul loathes this worthless bread. Hardships can lead to discouragement and complaining. When we struggle, it is so easy to get wrapped up in our flesh. When we struggle, it is so easy to point the finger of blame. When we struggle, it is so easy to think about how bad things are as opposed to how good things are. Right? The children of Israel, they were wandering in the desert. And again, the irony in this is that it was because of their complaining that they were wandering in the desert. Yet they were complaining about wandering in the desert. So the more they complained, the longer they wandered. The longer they wandered, the more they complained. And it was a vicious cycle. How many can look at their lives and say that they are running in that same type of circle? Always thinking about things negatively. Always looking at what's wrong as opposed to what could possibly be right. Always looking at how bad things are or actually could be. Because there's a lot of people that live on the what if principle. What if this happens? What if that goes wrong? What if this thing comes to pass? My favorite saying in response to those what ifs are, what if the world was flat? Columbus would have sailed off the edge. Now that makes no sense because it didn't happen. The world is round, oval, and Columbus sailed from the old land into the new land. So because it didn't happen, it has no bearing. People should not base their decisions on things that do not exist. Ifs are non-existent. What if does not classify a tangible thing. And we should not use an if to make a decision, because those ifs are the catalyst or the fuel for discouragement.